Anytime you win, we're going to celebrate it. If we ever get to the point in our program where we don't celebrate wins, then we haven't done a good job as coaches. Winning's hard, really, really hard, and we're going to get everybody's best shot. And I want to thank Chris Delcani and Drew Martin for an unbelievable Bevo Boulevard experience as we were coming in. We had players commenting on it left and right as we came into the locker room and how cool it was. And I can only imagine how great it was for our fans. And I want to thank our fans and our students especially for showing up. I know the weather forecast for days was not real promising, and there was probably a lot of reason why people might have sat at home and watched this thing on their couch, and they came out, and they had a direct impact on winning that football game. Was really excited about the way that our players responded to what we challenged them to do after last week, which was to come out and have fun, and they did. They played loose, they played free, they played with a smile on their face in that first half, and I was really, really proud of that. And to be honest with you, a lot of the responsibility for the way that we played in the third quarter and probably early fourth was on me. I wanted to make sure that we didn't get complacent at halftime. I wanted to make sure that we came out and played hard, and I was pretty hard on our guys at halftime, and I think you sensed a little bit of that pressing again. And so I've got to remember what brought us to that point of being up 21-0, and that was playing loose and playing carefree. And the thing that I was so proud of, especially offensively, was how we kind of rallied in that fourth quarter and said, guys, if we go out there and play not to lose, we're going to be in for a long night. And they went out. We had a 13-play, 75-yard drive, 6 minutes, 13 seconds, I believe, that ended in a touchdown and overcame 2 penalties. So you want to talk about a crew that was excited to be out there and playing to have fun. That was definitely the case. And then in a one-score game to get the ball back with 4:53 left on the clock and your opponent with 2 timeouts, and to end it in victory formation, that's a sign of a team that can finish. And was really proud of that. Obviously, we got a huge one this week, and we're excited about it to play another ranked opponent here at home. This place should be rocking. Again, a night game. We got a lot of lessons to learn, a lot of things to clean up, but those pills are a lot easier to swallow when you win. And we're excited about the win. We're going to celebrate it tonight and get back to work tomorrow. Questions?
Coach, I know you're happy, about the win. In week 1, obviously you guys lost against Maryland, a 7-point victory against a Tulsa team that won 2 games last year. Why do you think things have been kind of a struggle to start off the season?
Well, I think we're breaking in a lot of new cast of characters, which is, you asked. We've got a lot of youth on defense right now out there. There were times on offense when we had a lot of youth out there as well. And so, we had 478 yards, scored 28 points, kind of probably, I don't want to say could have, never do, but, ended the game taking a knee in the red zone. So, I think the only issue that we continued to combat, and we did for a good 3 quarters tonight, is the tension and pressing. And I thought the first half we did a fantastic job with that. Third quarter, not so much, but the fourth quarter we rallied and did. So I'm happy with where we're headed. I'm happy we got to do a great job of making sure that our guys continue to have fun playing this great game, celebrating wins, celebrating big plays, and it's our job as coaches to get the things that are correctable corrected.
The middle talked about it, the guys tightening up a little bit. Playing at Texas comes with pressure. It just does. Why do you think these guys are struggling to handle pressure?
Oh, I don't think they're struggling to handle pressure. I think pressure, again, is the uneasy feeling you get when you're not prepared. I think they know that they're prepared. I don't think it's the pressure of Texas. I think it's more of the wanting so badly to play well for their teammates that we tense up a little bit, but in the first half we certainly didn't. So I was happy. I mean, we took some really big strides, and was excited about that.
And it is worth asking. Your quarterback did make winning plays tonight. 7 for 7 on the drive that y'all went up 28 on. It's baby steps, I'm sure. But what did you see out of Sam on that, especially the big third down run that got y'all in position for this play?
Yeah, I saw him. He made some really good checks. He made some really good throws. He had a drop on third down, or else his completion percentage would have been better. Made a great decision on the touchdown throw to Trey. That ball was, the first read was the tight end. They had the tight end covered. He immediately got the ball out in the flat to Trey. He scrambled on third down. This is a big drop 8 outfit. They're going to drop 8 guys into coverage. And we knew that, hence we threw tunnel screen on one third down. We threw a little drag screen to Colin on another third down, just because throwing the ball intermediately and deep on third down is tough. But when they did give us the opportunity, he did. We didn't connect with Devin twice, but those were both plays that he checked to. And so just really growing in terms of seeing the game. And there's a few things he's got to correct. There was a few balls that he wound up carrying that were probably he didn't have to. But was really excited about against a very unique defense, and he handled it very well.
Tom, you said you were a little hard on him at the half, up 21-0. What were your concerns at the half? And number 2, were you surprised to be up only 7 at crunch time after shutting them out in the first half?
No, was not surprised. I would imagine that's a pretty good football team, and we're going to get everybody's best shot. And what did I say? And I was disappointed with not being able to punch it in on the goal line. That was disappointing, and that we had given up some big plays on defense. And instead of being happy and having fun about being up 21-0, I wanted to ensure against complacency, and lesson learned.
You had 2 guys that weren't in your program last year in the backfield, and Keontae and Trey. How much are you growing to trust them in the backfield, and what are your impressions of them through 2 games?
I think they're really good players. That leads me to injury. The only 2 guys that could not have finished the game, we had Anthony Wheeler got poked in the eye and had trouble focusing, so we couldn't send him in. And then Keontae actually had a knee deal getting tackled, so we've got to get that evaluated tomorrow. But we had, we rushed for, where am I at here? 241 yards. Keontae averaged 6.4 yards, and Trey averaged 4.1 yards. That's a pretty good day at the office. So excited about where. Obviously, assuming Keontae's injury is one that doesn't set him back at all, but those 2 guys played really well.
Tom, the first 4 possessions of the second half, I think it's a 3 and out, a 4 and out. You had a strip sack, Ellinger, the only turnover, and then a 5 and out. With all those numbers and Ellinger going 21 and 27, what needs to happen to maintain those drives and get that consistency going on offense early in the second half? Because he struggled last week early in the second half too.
We've got to play the way that we played in the first half. We got to play loose. We got to have fun, and we got to make sure that we balance understanding that we can't take our foot off the gas, but at the same time we've got to have a ton of fun out there. We got to play loose.
Coach, you guys always talk about how the best measure of a team is from the first game to the second game, how they grow as players and just being in the fire. What did you see from your team today that you didn't see out besides playing looser and having more fun? What else did you see?
I saw us, run the ball better versus a three-man front. That I thought we were very limited. Credit to the offensive staff. One of the ways to help an offense play looser is to carry less, and we carried less. We had a very good idea of what we believed we were going to see, and it held true. And so we ran the football in critical times well, and then we knew that the short and intermediate pass game was going to be really, really difficult because it's drop 8 coverage with cloud corners, taking away any kind of hitches and slants and things like that. So we were going to have to push the ball downfield in the seams, and we did that early in the game. So I thought that improvement was probably the biggest thing that stood out to me.
Tom, between Keontae, Caden, and BJ, the newcomers obviously played a big part in tonight's win. How do you think those 3 guys specifically contribute to the team's goals this season?
But yeah, I mean, they're part of, one of the best recruiting classes in the country. And 2 of those 3 guys you named were here all spring as well. And it was really, really, I mean, again, we get a great kick coverage. In the first play of the game, a true freshman runs out there and gets a pick, and we go down and convert it to a touchdown. I mean, and that's where that's a very, teachable moment there in terms of field position and the battle of field position and getting turnovers and what they can do. And for offense making our goal on offense is to make 2 first downs. We didn't when we were backed up a couple times in that third quarter, and we punted. We gave them good field position. They went down and scored. And so I think the battle of field position really became a very teachable moment tonight, and that was cool for our guys to see. But in terms of those 3 kids specifically, I mean, they're college ready. I mean, they are, especially BJ and Caden, having been in this program and in our strength and conditioning program, going through spring practices. I expect you're going to see a lot of them for years to come here.
2 last questions. Tom, just kind of a follow-up on something you said earlier. With Keontae getting hurt, is that kind of why Daniel got some run late, or was that just deciding to mix it up?
We put Daniel in because we knew we were going to run the quarterback sweep on 3rd and 1. We wanted him to be the lead blocker. And then we kept him in because he's kind of our goal line short yardage back, and we needed to grind the clock out. So I think whether Keontae had been injured or not, I think that was a time for Danny and his role on this offense. But, it came at the right time, I guess, too, because Keontae was dinged up.
Tom, you mentioned the punting, the short punt. Buchevsky's had a couple of those too in seemingly critical situations. What do you say to him to get over those? I think it was a 15-yard punt last week in this one.
Oh, I think you tell him that he's at Texas for a reason, and we got to do a better job protecting for him. Obviously, we did not handle that very well. So some of that, when you get a punt block, that'll affect your psyche quite a bit. And so we got to tell them, hey, we're going to protect you. and you got to trust that we're going to protect you. And then we got to hold true to that, and then we got to protect him. But individually, I think it's just, hey, you're here for a reason. We all believe in you, and he's shown us what he's capable of doing, and we got to make sure that up front we're doing the right thing to make sure that we can give him confidence back there.